I kind of want my flowers.
Oh man, I hate when you do this shit. All right, what now? I got a bouquet in other room. What's up, man?
This is gonna be my first ask. There's a couple things on here that I want my flowers for, but we'll start here.
All right.
If you remember about a month ago, you thought I was joking when I thought, yo, you could maybe broker the deal between Roc-A-Fella and Drake. He has the money. He cares.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Drake should do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you laughed and laughed and laughed. And said, nah. And then Dame last night got on whatever platform that was and said Drake DM'd him inquiring about purchasing 1/3 of Reasonable Doubt and Roc-A-Fella Inc.
Mm-hmm.
So I was even trying to set it up for you, like, yo, you could take your 1% or like your broker fee off that, and we're looking at like 10 million.
Yeah.
So do you want to split that 1% with me, or like how do you want to do it?
Well, I don't know to what extent Drake reached out to Dame about that. I don't know how far they got in talks or how serious it was. But that's on brand for Drake, though. You don't think so? I mean,
yeah,
he got all of Pharrell's jewelry, Nigo's jewelry.
I don't like what he did with
Tupac's
it.
ring,
Mm-hmm.
Tupac's rhyme book.
But are you collecting it as a lover of the sport, or are you collecting it as a petty way to say fuck y'all? I'm finally him.
Well, he's said in his rhymes he used to want to sign to Roc-A-Fella,
and then he became Jay.
Jay.
I never
like he
that
said
part.
that before. He said that before. So yeah, that wasn't too surprising to me that he had inquired about purchasing those shares.
Well, we don't know, but we assume that he bought Pharrell's jewelry out of spite and pettiness.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we know him to be a Neptunes fan at one point.
Yeah.
I don't think he bought that the way he bought Push's mic off eBay.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he say he was going to melt that shit down?
Yeah, he did say that.
Come on, man. So what is he going to do with Reasonable Doubt?
Melt it down. He melt the masters.
Okay, so in the event that Drake wins this auction,
Yeah.
do you think your brother and Hov, like, are they going to split it up? Does Drake get Can I Live? Is he going to finally clear that Dead Presidents freestyle? Was it Chicago freestyle?
Yeah,
Put it on DSPs.
I don't know. I haven't really. Obviously I read the headlines and I saw the clip of Dame talking about it, but I don't know. I don't know if that move would have been for kind of like a chess move, or if it literally would have been just Drake wanting to own a piece of art and history that he probably helped him fall in love with hip hop. And again, he was a fan first. Wanted to always sign to Roc-A-Fella.
I don't think he's a fan anymore.
Why not?
I think Drake, like me, growing up, was very much a rap nerd and loved this shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he has been through the ringer and met his heroes, and I don't think he reveres them the way he did once. Because he has a different view than probably any other human being in the rap world.
No,
I don't think
he still looks at Jay as
I think
reason why he does what he does.
I think he views him completely as a peer now.
Okay.
But I don't mean that like really in a good way. I think he doesn't have the reverence he once did because I think he's seen the behind the scenes stuff and probably has a weird view. So I think if he were to buy Roc-A-Fella, it wouldn't be from the I was a fan my whole life. I looked up to these guys. I cannot believe I have the money to now purchase this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm your peer and I'm trying to now surpass you.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my way of trying to little homie you.
Well, I don't think that. I don't think trying to little homie you. I don't think that. But I think that, it is obviously Drake is who he is and is in a place where he can even entertain the thought of purchasing something
Just
like
bet on IG, just bet 10 million on stake.
Yeah. So I mean we know that obviously the capital is there and things like that. But I don't I understand, especially now more than ever, Drake is probably in a space where he's looking at, a lot of guys a little kind of sideways because of what he is still going through as far as with other artists and on the music side of things. But I don't think that this in particular is too much of that attached to it. I think this was literally him just wanting to own a piece of history and something that inspired him. But at the same time, kind of like a wink to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but not with not with malicious intent though. I don't think it's nothing malicious there.
Little underlying.
I think it's just a little. It's like a wink.
Thoughts,
It's like a head nod, like a little. You know what I mean? But I don't think it's any malicious energy behind that. I can't. I would be very surprised if that was a part of it.
And I know Hov's looking at it like, all right, you think that's a one-up if you get that, but I would have to talk to Lucian about buying any of your shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's not up for sale because you don't own it.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see that perspective from Hov if it happens, but the way Drake talked on 8 a.m. in Charlotte, when he was really saying, yo, I've been just gathering information about all of you in the rap world in case anyone wants to go there with me, is kind of what he was saying.
But that's what you're supposed to do.
Of course, we have talked many times. We think every rapper ever has in their notes folder
for sure.
verses about rappers they're friends with now, but just in case.
For sure.
I think this is one of those moves, and I'm curious what type of greasy talk Drake comes with if he ends up purchasing 1/3 of Reasonable Doubt.
We had this talk before about somebody, but see, the thing is, when you talk about somebody
that's
like,
gonna be a crazy verse.
Yeah, but when
that's
you
gonna be
about,
a crazy verse.
Yeah, but you can't talk. See, that this is why Jay is so different, because you can't out slick talk Jay. You can't greasy talk Jay. You can't do that. If it's anybody that could even probably remotely even come close, it would be Drake. But even Drake, as great as he is and as much as he's accomplished, you know, Jay is on a, you know, when you talk about just the ability to talk slick, Jay's made a career off of just slick talking, and, you know, now putting himself in a space business-wise where, you know, a lot of these other dudes are not on that level as far as business it goes. But, you know, I would love to see it for the sport, but again, I don't think it's anybody that could. You can't out slick talk Jay. We talking about Jay-Z. You can't. You
know,
can't
Drake is starting
Jay-Z.
that verse out the gate. I tried to be reasonable, but you doubted. Like, you know, it's coming out the gate.
That Drake was started
Right at Hov. Yeah. I tried to be reasonable, but you doubted.
Nah, man, nah. That would be fun to watch for sport, but again, man, that's you talking about. You know, Jay he's on a different level as far as that slick talk shit goes. You can't. That's not how you go at Jay. You can't talk greasy to Jay-Z.
This again, all hypothetical. We don't even know. This is all Dame saying Drake just DM'd him. If it was like a real thing, Dame would have been like, "Oh, Drake's lawyers reached out." Like it would be a whole different thing.
Mm-hmm.
But in that hypothetical, let's say Drake, rightfully so, starts talking greasy because him and Hov have had back and forths for 12 years at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Does Jay entertain any shots that come from Drake if he buys Reasonable Doubt?
Do I, as far as on wax?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Jay is just I don't think he's in that you know, rapper. I haven't seen Jay wear a lot of jewelry in a few years. That's how when you know Jay is back like in rapper mode. He starts throwing on obnoxious jewelry shit that no other rapper can really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, and it's also like
5% pieces that people don't even understand.
Yeah, it's like he starts doing these things where you're like, oh, he back in the booth. But I don't think that if Drake was to throw a shot at, it's funny even talking about shit like that, but if he was to throw that type of shot, it would take a different type of, I don't think it would be the type of shot you think. I think Jay would have to hear something that would perk his ear up. But I don't think it'd be as blatant as you may think. It may be something to where only Jay would catch it, and that may move him now.
I think the world has a perception that Hov ignores things. He pretty much replies to literally everything when it's time to rap.
No, everything. You know how much
if you don't think we're gonna get a verse that has to do with the Wayne situation with the Super Bowl, you're bugging.
No, he'll have a line addressing it like, y'all, how, like, you know, how could y'all say I shitted on, I helped him with his taxes? Like, he'll remind you. Like, come on, who y'all talking to? Like, I didn't help people that y'all don't need. Y'all forget convenient amnesia.
Like 10 people on Twitter had talked about Meek and Hov maybe having an issue, and he replied to that on God's plan. Yeah, not God's plan. Hope God did.
Yeah, but his response was more so like,
yeah, I freed him from a whole bid.
Yeah, like how I can't.
But I'm saying, Jay does not let.
But do you understand
go.
That response though? That response is more so like, yo, cut it out, man. I can't. I wouldn't beef with why would I beef with Meek? Like, what do you? I helped him. I'm not going. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got. Like, I'm talking about not on like business shit. I helped him in a real life situation. I helped him.
Yeah, but that's not what Twitter was talking about. We're not saying you didn't do that. We're just saying we think y'all have tension.
And he quickly showed y'all how stupid that sounds. I can't have tension with somebody that I helped get out of prison. That don't even make sense.
To me, that goes
If I
back
got
to
tension with somebody, you think I'm gonna help them get out of prison?
To me, that kind of goes back to the Rowdy Bobby question that happened on No Jumper, when I thought Rowdy handled that really well and didn't give in to the gossipy bullshit. But it appears like there may be some tension, and he didn't answer the question, just said, that's my brother for life.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I think Hove did with the Meek situation.
Yeah.